is here, so I guess it's time to get started. Everybody's a little slow getting up today. Did the rain just kind of slow people down? Or I love the rain. Anybody excited about the rain?
No.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. Good afternoon and welcome to the Rotary Club of Georgetown. As you know, the greatest Rotary Club in the world. I'm honored and humbled to serve as your president this year. Let's see who we have up there. Folks, we need some assistance in getting the meeting started. I haven't seen Jeanette. Is Gary here? I haven't seen him either. Georgianne. So we need 2 people to fill in for those who are not here. 1, 2, there we go. Excuse me?
Do you have the milestones?
Not in my hand. Yes, I do. Hang on. Last time I worked with.
What? Oh, down here, yeah. Oh, okay, so
You got the prayer standing up there. If one of y'all.
Let us pray. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for our gathering today of great Rotarians doing your will, serving mankind. We thank you for the rain today to give the water to your earth, which we desperately need around here. We thank you for the food served to us today, for the nourishment of our bodies, there again to do your will. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join us in the pledge. I
pledge
pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we are celebrating today spouse birthdays, Curtis Wren's wife, Cherise, anniversaries, Glenn and Juanita Towery, and 18 years, lovely, and club anniversaries, Larry Baird, 13 years, and Patricia Stevenson, 31 years. Salute.
And thank you very much. I apologize for not passing out the trumpet. It's being done right now, so now I just left it in my bag. Any of you brought a guest today? Please stand up and introduce them. Henry, do you have a guest?
I do not.
You do
I'm
not?
just swiveling.
I'm just messing with you.
Uh-huh.
So we do have a microphone. There we go.
Yes, I brought my future son-in-law, Michael Johnson. He's going to be marrying my daughter Ruth in January before he goes to spring training because he's a pitcher in the Miami Marlins organization.
Huh.
Our son Caleb is with us today.
My husband is joining us for a brief appearance, Travis. And I also have Paige Kirsch. She started a company called Adventure by Learning. It's about to take off in Georgetown, so welcome, Paige.
Is anybody? How about visiting Rotarians? Any visiting Rotarians today? Okay. George Oliver.
In this club, when you refer to George, it's the original George. I'm George Oliver, so I come with the last name to differentiate myself. So we've been talking about ways to make the community more aware of Rotary in general and our club in particular, and today we're going to review the first 3 steps. And to help me today is Randy Mongold and Michelle Marshall, if they would come up. There's Randy. Step number 1, as you recall, is all of those dusty Rotarian magazines, which you really want to get rid of anyway. I don't know if you feel guilty about throwing them away, but to assuage any negative feelings you may have, you can just recycle them into doctors, dentists, hairdressers' office, wherever magazines just kind of sit around and people pick them up and read. And Randy wants to make a comment on that.
Well, there's several things you can do in addition to that. Did y'all know you can get your Rotary magazine online? All you have to do is register. All you have to have is your ID for Rotary, and you get it online, and then you save thousands of trees, okay? Anybody know what November the 9th is this year? Anybody out there? Okay. Well, it's Rotary Day at the UN. Why is the UN recognizing Rotary International? Because after World War II, there was so much concern about another world war that in 1945, a bunch of Rotarians got together with some other folks and says, how do we get this so we don't have this happen again? And they helped form the UN. And the UN was is still a big part. The Rotary's a big part of what happens at the UN. You may not recognize that, but they're highly rated as far as a responsible party at the United Nations because we are an international club. What's that got to do with your Rotarian magazine? You know, you really can't get an idea of how large and what's involved in Rotary. It's like looking at the moon and saying, you know, that's pretty nice, it's big. But you get a telescope, and then you see all the things that are happening and everything that's out there. And that's what the Rotary magazine can do. I look at it primarily to look at international situations. It's always fascinated me what people are doing and the things they think about. So, what you can do is if you'll bring your Rotary magazine here, in our office building we have, and I have another office building we manage, we have about 20 doctor's offices. Austin Avenue Professional Building, right up here up the street on Austin Avenue. And I can hand those out at those different offices and then replenish that as we need to be. So if you're through with yours and you're not ready to put it in the recycling, go ahead and bring it up and I'll go ahead and take care of that. Thank you.
Thank you. So Randy's your point man. If you don't have a doctor's office you want to take it to, bring it here, give it to Randy, and he will distribute it. The second thing that we said you could do is license plate brackets, and Michelle's here to talk about that.
All right, so this is the last day that you can turn your order forms in for the Rotary license plate brackets. It's going to say Rotary Club of Georgetown, Texas, so it's a great way to let others in the community know about the Rotary Club here in Georgetown and for them to know that you're a proud member. If you don't get your order form in, you'll have to go online and order individual ones, and they'll be like $35 instead of $24 or $25. So make sure that you get your order forms in, and you can email me by the end of today if you don't actually fill it out, but just make sure that we know by today because we're going to put the order in at the beginning of next week. And right now we are right on the edge of getting 25 orders, so if we don't get 25, they're going to be $25 a piece. If we get up to 25 ordered, they'll be $24 a piece. So it's a really great deal to put on your car.
Thank you, Michelle. Do your duty to your fellow Rotarians. Put us over 25 so that the first 24 can get a price break. The third thing, as you'll recall, is there are brochures that I'm going to be putting out on the tables every week. This is a Rotary brochure. If we have, just about Rotary in general, Rotary International, not club specific, but if we have a guest that has indicated an interest in Rotary, please offer this to them as they leave. There's more steps we will take. As you can see, these are all very easy to do, require a minimum of effort. We have some more ideas we'll be talking about. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Thank you very much. Dennis. Next slide.
Just a reminder that this is the month that the International Polio Day is on October 24th, and our poor little pig over here is looking a little thin. And for those of you who aren't wearing your pin, you can be nice enough to make a donation. It's been very nice seeing the response actually to the people actually wearing their pins on a regular basis now. All you have to do is take it to the next level and wear them every day, as I do. That's it. Thank you.
Dennis just keeps raising the bar. I love it. I love it. Absolutely. Next slide. Okay. Skip one. So we have oh my gosh, we got a social.
We have a Rotary Club social next Friday at Ranch Brewery. It's going to be a great time. Come out, bring a guest. It's a great opportunity to introduce them to Rotary. Counts as a makeup. So we hope to see you all there.
David Kellemer needs a little bit of help with the Boo and Brew. 2 more people will fill up what he needs to do.
We've been talking a little bit about the district challenge, where people who make cash contributions to the foundation will have their foundation cash contribution matched by the district, and in many cases that will be matched by the club in points. You can expect that if you are pretty close to getting your next Paul Harris recognition, you will get a phone call from a member of the foundation committee in the next few days. The reason being that the district foundation match program terminates October the 26th. So we're going to be making a telephone, possibly email contact with you to just make sure you understand how easy it's going to be for you to get your next, either your first Paul Harris recognition or your next Paul Harris recognition. And I hope you will give us time so that we can explain it to you. It won't take long. Our committee members have been trained with great precision on how to explain it to you.
Thank you very much, Billy Ray. Speaking of October 26th, that's also when our next ramp build will be, and it's also the day for the Boo and Brew. Boo and Brew, ramp build's in the morning. Boo and Brew is from 3:30 till 6 p.m. at Wolf Ranch in that afternoon.
That address doesn't show up on maps.
The address is wrong. Oh. Myra said it's wrong.
Okay. All right, Myra, where's the correct address?
Is Myra here?
We'll get the correct address up.
Okay.
The one that's in the trumpet is on CR 270 instead of 277.
Okay. Thank you, Barbara, for having the correct one in there for us. Scott.
Okay, before I forget and get on to what I'm going to talk about as far as volunteer, Jeannie's out of town, but she wanted to pass on that any of you that purchased the golf shirts for this year's Field of Honor, she'll have them here next week. They're only $24, which I believe is the least expensive they've ever been, isn't it, David? Yeah, so next week you can put it on your bill with Carol, or if you want to bring exact change help, so it's $24, which is a really good deal for the really nice golf shirts. Okay, moving on. We got a little bit of a change of a date. Marking the field was originally November the 8th, which was the day they're going to put down the rebar, put up the flags, everything, and David and I found out 2 years ago is you're really under the gun to get that done on that day. So, like last year, we're going to mark in the morning on Thursday, November 7th. I have 5 volunteers/victims helping me here. But no, seriously, it's more tedious. Ladies, you can come out. Amber Burkowski came out with her 2 blonde little girls 2 years ago and did it. So I need 3 more people. We're going to have 2 crews. Gary and Julian, who are sitting over there, were 2 of my ace crew last year that found out that getting started takes a little bit of time. But this year with 2 crews going, it shouldn't take as long. I have 5. Danny Swafford signed up as well. So November 7th. Also on the 8th was the which could still work, emptying the storage unit, which we need 6 or 8 people for that. It all depends on Chris Cash's magic trailer, who seems to show up every time we need it. I'll get with him and we'll see. We may do that on another day. I don't know. We'll figure that out. That takes a little more muscle, but not a lot. The flags don't weigh a lot, but Danny, who's helped, he'll tell you putting them back in is a lot more work than taking them out. The flags are lightweight. You can carry a couple rebars. So there's all sorts of pre-Field of Honor starting volunteer opportunities. So the 7th, we're going to mark the field, and right now the 8th in the morning is to unload the trailer, which we still might do, but I'll talk with Chris on that and we'll get a follow-up on that. Any questions, you can see me afterwards, and remember the shirts will be here next week, $24. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. That's awesome stuff. A lot of opportunities. Henry.
All right. Not really good with the microphones, but hey everybody, I got a hey you detail. George told me to deal with the CalFX, and I got to thinking that had I not spent 10 years in the Army, I would think CalFX would be a dinosaur, and a live fire would be a fire, a burning fire that just somehow came alive. So slide please. So this is exactly what the CalFX will be. That is a Abrams tank, and it's shooting a 120 millimeter round downrange. And what you don't see is they're probably going to be shooting some 7.62 coax as well. So I'm going to give you the 5 W's of exactly what the live fire is. The who is its 1st Brigade, 1st Cavalry Division. The what is they've invited us to participate, or to view, not participate, to view.
We're going to be the target, okay?
To view their performance of this culmination live fire exercise. The when is going to be starting next Friday and ending the week prior to Thanksgiving. And then it's going to be at Fort Hood, and the how, come see me for more of the details. So that's all I really have. Yeah, it's going to be really great, and I do want to reiterate that it's an incredible pain in the rear to get a bunch of ammo and fuel all these vehicles to get out there, so it's even rare for people in the military to go and do this kind of stuff. So, all right.
This is great stuff. So, you know, in the military, they do a lot of individual training and then squad and platoon, and then continue to build it up. So these are company and battalion-sized units actually putting all that training into practice in a live exercise. Really awesome, awesome opportunity. Calendar of events, a lot of things coming up. A couple things to note, there's a foundation trustee board meeting this afternoon, board meeting for the club next week. We already talked about the gala. Denise White. There's several different things that our organization sponsors and really tries to help and make happen. Denise is going to talk about 2 of them today. The Presidential Service Awards and the AHG, American Heritage Girls. So Denise, one of our club members and also our representative for that. Thank you.
All right, so I'm not the tree lady today. I just want to make that clear. So I've got 2 things I'm going to talk about. I'll try to go as quickly as possible to make sure I get through everything. A lot of it's going to be tied to pictures of the girls because they're cute and you guys like that. First thing, Presidential Service Award, is actually the President's Service Award. This was started, go ahead, Brad. I don't have my magic clicker. This was started by President Bush, and he wanted a way to recognize people that go above and beyond service. 2002, he started the program. In 2003, it was officially recognized as the President's Service Award. There's 3 different levels of the award, bronze, silver, and gold, and it varies based on your age. What? You can't hear me, Felix? Okay, is that better, Felix? How about now? So there's 3 levels, and it goes based on age, Children as young as 5 can earn the Presidential Service Award. Recipients receive a medal if they want to. I've got a couple up here that they can, a pin, a medal, certificate that comes from the President's office. There's also a Lifetime Achievement Award that's available. Go ahead, Brad. You see the ages here. So later when I talk about those that have earned the Presidential Service Award, they start at 5 to 10, 26 hours is a minimum to receive your bronze. Adults, down at the bottom, bronze is 100. So it is not out of anyone's reach to receive this award. But it's really difficult when you have children. So one of the things that I really like to encourage and why I'm here at Rotary is your emphasis on service to self. What I believe the President's Service Award does, it gives recognition, but it gives incentive to our kids too, because, you know, everybody likes to receive recognition, but these pins can carry with them. It looks fantastic on a resume, on a college entrance, to see that you've been a Presidential Service Award recipient. So our club became a certifying club in 2018 when I brought this to Chris Cash's attention and said, hey, I think our club can really run with this. At that time, we agreed to it. I'm the certifying official. I'll tell you what that means in a minute. But we agreed in the beginning to sponsor 100 recipients for our first year. And we wanted to see what would happen. We ended up, in 2018, our club sponsored 58 recipients. I didn't advertise it a lot because we really wanted to see what we could do. And so most of those recipients that you will see were 58. They're mostly tied to American Heritage Girls. I also had some people that came to me with children outside of the AHG program. And I had a couple of adults that had service that they wanted to also be recognized. 10,600 hours with 58 people in 1 year. That's a big number. 26 hours was the lowest that you can go for kids, and we had one kid that had, or the highest was 630, and that was an adult. Where's my child? Okay, so 75% of the hours are all on Rotary projects, ramp builds. Field of Honor obviously took a lot of time. Patriots Ball. So all of those hours that we awarded as a club were done at Rotary events, which is pretty fantastic. All the recipients, we agreed, wanted to reside in Williamson County. Most of the people were from Georgetown, but we do have some in South Georgetown or Round Rock that also received the award. And then we have some families that are in our troop that live in Jarrell, Hutto, Killeen. We have a family that comes all the way down from Killeen to do our troop, because we got a pretty cool troop. But the highest youth award for 2018 was 245 hours. That's one child in 1 year. A lot of you know who that kid is. I'll leave her out. But she put in a lot of hours last year. Most of it, again, Rotary events. I think there were only a couple of things that she did that weren't tied to Rotary. So they're really giving back to Rotary and proving that they are service-minded, which is fantastic. Okay, future goals, Presidential Service Award. In our pilot year, we wanted 100. That was what we originally budgeted for, and that's what we originally set out for. They're about $10 a recipient, not a big cost. My goal is to have 75% of our Rotarians in 2020 receive the Presidential Service Award. If you search Presidential Service Award online, you'll see that there are Rotary clubs where they award them to the recipients. There's no reason we don't do that. Our club is a service club, and I would love for our club members to be recognized for their service. So that's my goal in 2020, is to have 75% of our Rotarians be eligible, if not receive, the Presidential Service Award. Okay, do I have any quick questions on Presidential Service Award, or you can ask them when I get finished after I talk about American Heritage Girls? Nope, great, perfect. Okay, American Heritage Girls. You've all seen them. I've got one of them here today. They have been integrated with our club. and it's pretty fantastic. This was, go back one, Brad. So the little picture there was the very first year of the Field of Honor when everyone had our Rotarian vests. And we kind of just showed up to the Rotary. Christiana had her uniform on, and we said, how can we help? That was the beginning of our relationship with Rotary, and it was from that Rotary event that I joined, or that Field of Honor that I joined Rotary. So that's going to go back to me saying, yes, we need people at the Field of Honor that are from Rotary that says, hey, this is what we do. Because if someone hadn't taken the time, and it was busy, I mean, Vicki was like, yeah, I'll get something to you. And Jeannie was like, I'll get something to you. And everyone was like, I'll get something to you. And I was persistent. I was like, well, I really like this. How do I join? So that's my plug for having some sort of tent at the Field of Honor to gather the people that really want to be in Rotary. So from that event, obviously, I joined, and then I presented to the club on seeing about a partnership, but a little bit about American Heritage Girls. So American Heritage Girls, obviously we do service. I want to point out the picture of the little blonde up there. That's my niece. She is just diagnosed with a baseball-sized tumor in her brain that was removed. The reason I bring that up is all I did was post it on our contacts page with American Heritage Girls, and she has so much love and outpouring from the organization, cars, animals. It really is an organization that does go above and beyond. And she's also a tender heart in Maryland, so go ahead, Brad. One more. That's Patty Garraby. She founded American Heritage Girls, like most great organizations, in her garage, in her kitchen table. She wanted an organization, go ahead, that was able to provide something a little bit different than the organization that she had been brought up and raised in. I too bled green my whole life. My mom was an original Girl Scout in California. She was a Girl Guide at that time. I was a lifetime member, Gold Award recipient, so I bled green just like she did. I looked for an organization that had a little bit different approach and focused more on service with a Christ-centered background, and that's what American Heritage Girls really is. It was a basis, sorry Felix, the basis was to have that background, that direction and that guidance, but really important was the American heritage aspect and the service. Service is key in American Heritage Girls. Go ahead, Brian. So today we have troops in every state and 15 countries around the world. They're in our Trailblazer program, so kind of like a lone scout with Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. They are still part of the American Heritage Girl program. Thousands of volunteer members. Obviously, we are not paid, just like any scouting organization, we're all volunteers. One of the cool things, this is our 25th anniversary coming up this summer. Still a baby considered in most organizations. Big party out in Cedarville, Ohio, where they're going to bring all the girls in, a big camping, and really kind of gather them like a big jamboree, if you will. So we're really excited to see if we can get to that event. Go ahead, Brian. Principles of AHG. Building women of integrity through service to God, family, community, and country. The Vision Premier National Character Development Program, and that's really the emphasis. We're developing women of character, women that have those strong morals, women that have the guidance, although I'm looking back at those little girls and thinking, no, they need to stay babies. I don't want them to be women, but they will be, and so it's our job to make sure that they have the guidance to have that background and a good character. Promise to love God, cherish my family, honor my country, and serve in my community. The girls say this at every meeting so that they know what their basis is. Go ahead, Brad. So our history, kind of like Presidential Service Award, I had two people that really kind of pushed me to do this with the club. Their vision was so big and so amazing that they said, yes, Denise, our club will do this. Our club would be a great partnership. And so I listened to them, and I presented it to the club after I came up with a great plan and great idea. And it was approved for the Rotary Club of Georgetown to charter American Heritage Girls Troop. It's a 3-year deal. After that, we'll see how we're doing and come back and see if we want to continue the charter. But I think it's going pretty good so far. Our troop is the basis when we set this up is we wanted our girls to focus on service. We don't want them out there pounding the ground, selling cookies and popcorn and everything else. We want them to serve. And that's really what they're doing. We're taking that to heart, and the girls definitely are serving. So that is how our troop model runs, is service above self. Troop last year was our very first year, and we earned the prestigious National Honor Troop for a first year. Obviously, you can only do this if you're a first-year troop. It recognizes troop that demonstrate excellence in the areas of family involvement, team training, and all those things that you can read. The girls were also awarded the Certificate of Special Congressional Recognition from Congressman Carter's office. Our last year award ceremony was fantastic. Congressman Carter wasn't able to be there himself because he was in DC, but they did send a representative to present the girls with their congressional certificates. This year, I would really like to have our awards ceremony here so that Rotary can see the girls and see what their accomplishments are, because it's pretty fantastic. So we're trying to work through that to bring the girls here like we do with the high school programs so that you guys can actually see the rest of the girls. 1 year, we started out with 7 girls. The top left corner is our mid-year award ceremony last year. That's how many girls we had. We had 11. At the end of last year, we had 23. As of today, I think we just had another girl join, so I really don't know what our number is, but we're 31. We've gone from 7 to 31 girls in 1 year's time. I think we're doing something right, and the girls are seeing that it is a good program. Program levels. So how old? We start at 5. We go up to 18. It's different than the other scouting organizations because we have all the girls together in one meeting. We want that mentorship. We want that 16-year-old to walk beside that 6-year-old and show her how to be a good character, how to have good morals, how to be a good mentor. We don't separate them. We do have them do specific unit things that are geared toward their age together, but our big meeting, they come together, we have flag ceremony, they have prayer, the devotionals, they do everything together as a unit because that's important. Our kids can't communicate with adults and other children if they're not exposed to it. And that's one of the really big things that AHG allows for, is that camaraderie with the girls. So, you saw the ages. Pathfinder, we have one little bitty Pathfinder this year. She just kind of tags along with all the rest of the big girls. It's fantastic. She'll level up next year and be a tender heart. We have 4 pioneers. Last year we had none, this year we have 4, which is great. Our pioneers and our patriots are our leaders. We allow them and push them to lead the troop, lead the unit, and present things to the younger girls because we want them to be able to have that skill of communicating with younger kids. Presidential Service Award, they did. Every single girl at the end of our first year, 23 girls, all received the Presidential Service Award. It's 100% of our girls, pretty fantastic. I'm really proud of that one. We had over 6,000 hours between our troop alone. All our board members, there's 5 of them, every single board member received the Presidential Service Award. That's a minimum of 100 hours each. We like to serve. Okay, Boy Scouts have their Eagle Award. Girl Scouts have their Gold Award. American Heritage Girls actually has 2 awards. One of them is called a Dolly Madison Award, and the other one, the Culmination Award, is their Stars and Stripes Award. Stars and Stripes is the highest recognition. It's a minimum of 9 months, usually takes a year, has to be completed before they turn 18 or it doesn't count. They have to supervise at least 10 hours and they have to personally do about a 100-hour service project. These are big projects. We have a lot of very ambitious young ladies that want to do good in the community. Some of them, yes, will build some benches, but they won't build one, they'll build 10. They'll go to nursing homes and provide a garden. They do big projects because they want to have a big impact. So let's see what the next one is, Brad. I think I want this one. Okay. So these are obviously a couple of our girls that were at the ramp build. If a ramp build were done by them, that would be a Stars and Stripes project. But it's done by the ramp build, Texas ramp build. So that doesn't count. But what we need and what we would like, if you have an idea of a big project, come to me, let me know. Say, hey, I've got this project over at the retirement community that we would like you to come in and do something for our veterans at the retirement community. Or we would like to have a memory walk at the memory care unit, something like that. Let me know. We want projects. We want these girls to serve. I have one girl right now that I'm mentoring with her Stars and Stripes. She's trying really, really hard to work with the Purple Heart integration. I forgot what the last word is. What is it? Project. Purple Heart Integration Project. Her goal is to build the entrance to the Purple Heart Project and have the flags and the plaques and everything like that. They're big projects. But that's what their dreams are. Their dreams are big and we want to help them. So even if you have a small project, come to me, let me know. I've got plenty of girls and other troops that are looking for projects, looking to serve, all the way from Christiana's age up to our 17-year-olds. So no project is too small. It may not be appropriate because it needs to benefit a community or an organization and have an impact. We can't just go over to David's house and put a garden in for him. As much as he would like that, it's just not going to work. We may do that just to help you out, Gimpy, but that's not considered a project. So, American Heritage Girls, Faith Service Fund. That's what their motto is, and that's what we try to live by. You've seen us everywhere. The girls are out and about. They were at the first tree planting. They were at the Field of Honor. I'm going to go through and show you some of the pictures of different events that they were at and explain to you, kind of just give you an overview of what they've done in 1 year. So go ahead, Pat. Special thanks to our sponsors. So we're not a fundraising organization, we're a service organization. These people have all donated. Rotary especially has helped us with service projects. They helped us get it going. These organizations also donated to us to keep us up and running and allowed us to come and do things with the girls. We went to the bowling alley. They did a behind-the-scene tour, and the girls earned their bowling badges. The girls earn badges just like any other scouting organization. So if you have something that you do that you like to do, Douglas, if you want to bring a STEM program, we've got a badge for that. Anything that you want to bring to the girls and teach or present or say, hey, I've got this, let us know. Felix brought the girls over to the airport and showed them all about aviation. These are just a few of the things that our troop has been a part of with Rotary and that you have given us the opportunity for. My biggest phrase is options and opportunities, and that's what our troop is all about, providing options and opportunities for girls and their families that may not have them. Honor Flight Austin, the girls are there every week that the Honor Flight comes back with the Honor Guard, escorting our veterans off of their trip from DC. Santa, I think Santa might have a little elf in here. We're hoping to be here next year to help with the Rotary Christmas party again. Troop camping, the girls go camping, they love camping. When we take a poll, what do you want to do? Two things. We want to go camping and we want to ride horses. Everything else is just fodder. If we can get them on a horse, camping, our retention would be amazing. Aquarium, that was pretty fantastic. Field of Honor, we've been there a little bit. The girls helped with every aspect, setup, prep, flag prep, you name it, they were there and love it. They're excited to be there again this year. Patriots Ball, I think the picture in the top right corner is one of my favorite. That's one of our girls and her dad. He just deployed for a year. He's actually in the unit that is doing the live fire. So Patriots Ball. Community outreach, who saw Chief Nero? That was a good one, right? That was our girls that were able to throw a pie in his face. Alicia Tandy brought the girls over and they cooked meals for homebound people. So the girls learned about cooking, commercial prep, and then they prepared the actual meals that Alicia delivered to homebound residents. Aviation with Felix, thank you Felix for doing that. The girls are still asking if they can come back. The girls made paper airplanes, we had contests. Felix let them climb in his airplane and has promised to take the girls up flying if they want to fly. Helping a Hero, the girls were there for the Helping a Hero event. Wreaths Across America, the girls were every step of the way. They assembled the wreaths, they placed the wreaths on the graves, and they came back and picked them up. If you haven't been to a Wreaths Across America event, you need to go this year. It's every year. You just search Wreaths Across America. There's one in Austin and there's one up in Killeen at the state cemeteries. It's pretty fantastic. Papa Don. S'mores at the campsite and with Alicia. So our girls certainly are learning the fun aspect of faith, service, and fun, and I think we're really impressing upon them the service as well. That was last year at the Field of Honor. There weren't many people out there that night where the haze that came in and we were just kind of there waiting for people, and it was so magical to have to watch the moisture settle on the field. It was just fantastic. Big thank you to Rotary. We can't do this without you. I think we're doing pretty good so far with our partnership. One other thing that I'm supposed to mention, Kat printed up these forms. Yours aren't going to have the scribble. Unless you want me to, I can put scribbles on them. But over there at the, actually Christiana, if you don't know Christiana now, you're probably just new to the club and you will soon. So Christiana has these forms, and on it, remember last week George talked about billing you for your Patriots Ball tickets or your flags. She has them, she'll pass them out. If you wanted to buy your flags today, just fill out the form and they'll bill you. Also, Patriots Ball tickets, want to buy them today, put them here. There's a place on the back for affiliate. If you would like to support the troop today, then you can put American Heritage Girls, and they've agreed to allow us to receive affiliate credit for today. Again, thank you very much. Our troop runs beside you and because of you, and we couldn't do it without you. So, thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Oh my gosh, you know, we think our Rotary Club does a lot. They're future Rotarians, and we have the tremendous privilege and opportunity to help support them in what they're doing. As you're probably aware, you know, we have folks sign a book. This is the Antler Fred ship. Hope I said that correctly. Antlered ship. All right, and then if you take that back and sign that for me, please.
And if you read the trumpet that was just put on your table, this is kind of appropriate since I lived on a sailboat for 5 years. Have any questions on that? I'll be glad to talk.
Now, if someone could do me a favor and get Alicia out of the kitchen, I'm going to share with you something that she did last week while we were finishing up our meeting. Actually, when I went in to get my lunch, she had an entire tray of food left over. We'll do that afterwards. So if you have questions, Alicia, come on up here, please. I want you to tell a little story about what you did last week as we were finishing up our Rotary meeting and you ran off with a tray of food down to Wells Branch and Mopac, I think it was, or something like that.
Okay.
So last week we had a full tray of food left, and I didn't want it to go to waste, and I didn't have any place to take it. So I asked George, and George made a couple of phone calls, and there was a group of homeless men under the bridge. And so we packed it up and took it down there. It ended up, it was one of them's 50th birthday. When he said that, I looked at him, I didn't say anything because he looked like he was at least 75. And it was just like, you're 50? So, and I had brought some donut holes. I said, well, this is in lieu of a cake. So, because that was all the sweet that I had. But so they had a nice lunch for his birthday. So if y'all ever know of a place or anything that needs a meal, if we have extras, I'd be happy to take it. Okay?
You know, she just very humbly says that, but you understand she literally stopped everything she was doing, took the tray of food, got it packed up, and took off to make sure that it got to somebody and made a difference in their lives. That's the kind of people we get to work with. It's just a true blessing. Thank you very much. All right, announcements for the good of Rotary.
If you look on your tablet today, there's a form from the Wilson County Village Advocacy Center. We're collecting money to buy gifts for our families, and the plan is for each family, each child to have 3 gifts, and the parents get to pick them out. So if you'd like to contribute, give terms going back to me at the end.
Thank you very much. That's another organization that our club has supported on a very regular basis. Any other announcements for the good of Rotary? Yes, sir.
I have tickets for the poker tournament. We need cash. It's going to be going up. You'll see me here at the stage after the tournament.
Anybody else? If anyone has any questions for Denise, please see her afterwards. I'll try to at least finish close to being on time. See the trumpet? And I have to apologize. I tried to send out a newsletter last night. I was told this morning by Ray Barron that it didn't work. So I will see if I can figure out what I did wrong. Please stand and join me for the 4-way test. Well, the things we think, say, or do. First.
Is it the truth?
Second.
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
And fourth.
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
We are adjourned.